What in the world? Okay. What in the world?
Hello YouTube, the reviewer's out for the day, so I'll be taking over in her place. Now, you might just say that I'm her in a hoodie with a mask, but you'd be wrong. I'm her from the intro. It makes sense if you don't think about it at all. Anyway, most of the found footage movies she's looked at this month have had some interesting marketing ploy, but this one doesn't. However, it does have something that makes it stand out. Most of the film was improvised. Originally, it was going to be a black comedy, but after a while, it became more of a horror film. It's the first in a trilogy, with 2 films out at the time of me filming this. But does it deserve a continuation? Well, let's get into it and find out. Film's about Aaron, a videographer who takes a job to film a guy for a day. At first, things are fine, a bit strange, but nothing too out there. The longer he stays, though, the more he learns about the guy and how dangerous this situation actually is. I don't know, though. I think Joseph seemed like a pretty nice guy. So yeah, the story's extremely simple, more so than some of the other movies the reviewers looked at this month. And one of those was just people walking through the woods for an hour and a half. To be fair, though, there is a reason for this. Like I said, most of the film was improvised, and they just worked off of the basic story premise they had. So one shouldn't expect a really thought-provoking plot here. That said, it makes the most of what it has. Sure, the scares aren't anything to write home about, but they have their moments. Sometimes they can even be kind of subtle. Sure, this doesn't happen often, but there are some moments in there. My personal favorite being when Joseph shows up at Aaron's door. I didn't notice it at first, and there's no loud noise to draw your attention to it. There's some more jump scares, though, which can be annoying at times, but there is actually a reason for them in this movie. Sure, it's not a very good reason, but it's Joseph finds scaring people to be really fun. Yeah, like I said, not much of a reason, but I mean, at the very least, there is something to it here, which is really nice. And as for the humor, it's still kind of present there. Originally, this was going to be a black comedy, so yeah, you could still see the aspects of that in the movie. And yeah, I do kind of like the hint of that in there. And there's also a bit of a mystery in this film, as we know nothing about Joseph, and we also have no idea if what he's actually saying is true or not. He could be telling us his whole life story, or he could just be lying through his teeth. We have no idea, and I really do like the way that's played. It's something that's there right from the very beginning, and I really do like how it's ever present throughout the whole film. So for the story, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, as yeah, it's extremely basic, but I will say there are definitely redeeming aspects to it. In particular, with some of the scares actually being explained why there's jump scares, and sometimes being rather subtle, and also with the mystery aspect to it, and some pretty good humor injected into it. So yeah, the story's good, or at least, well, for what it has. So, are the characters as good? Well, let's get into it and find out. So, for the characters, there's a whopping 2 of them. Yeah, there's not that many in this. Actually, this is probably the least amount of characters to ever be on this show, or that you could ever have. I mean, really, this is a very minimal amount of characters here, even for an indie. But, I mean, there's also Joseph's sister. She talks on the phone. It's kind of all that she does. She kind of underreacts to a situation too. So I mean, there's that for her. until she actually realizes that the situation might be slightly dangerous, which is something that she already knew, so I don't know why else she'd be calling. So, yeah. Don't really know why she started her phone call just like, oh, hey, yeah, is my brother there? I want to talk with them. Oh, by the way, you should get out of there right now. Like, yeah, I mean, really, her reaction, she's very calm about this at first. So, yeah, I mean, there's Joseph's sister's analysis. I'm sure you're all waiting for that. So, yeah, let's start off with the main character, Aaron. There's not really all that much to him. He's just kind of a normal guy. So, yeah. Now, I will say there are definitely some moments where he is extremely underreacting to things because, I mean, that's just a theme with characters in this movie, apparently. But, yeah, I'm not actually talking about the axe and the stump at the beginning of the movie, which is actually something that was supposed to be a giveaway that Joseph was dangerous. He says that in the sequel, but no, that's not a giveaway of anything. That is just saying that he likes, I don't know, getting firewood or something. That has nothing to do with anything. I don't know why he would actually be concerned about that. Or why he would film it. Seriously, there's no importance to that at all outside of if you've already seen this movie. Or if you know that's a horror movie, which no, he doesn't. So, no. I don't see why an axe and a stump would have been something unsettling to him at all. But, yeah. No, there are definitely a ton of moments that actually should have been a dead giveaway that something's wrong here. Like, oh, I don't know, when the very first thing that Joseph wants him to film is him in the bath. Just saying, stuff like that might raise a few red flags in me, but no, I mean, I guess Aaron's totally cool with it, because, I mean, why wouldn't you be? So, yeah, there are definitely some pretty dumb moments from Aaron here. However, I will say that his character isn't bad, and I can't overlook that he's definitely an idiot at some points in this film, as I actually don't mind him as a character. He's rather likable, and yeah, like Joseph is saying throughout most of the movie, yeah, he's a very nice guy, and he's extremely forgiving despite him having no real reason to be. Yeah, that's something that, well, yeah, I mean, okay, that pretty much does lead to his downfall, but still, it is a rather nice trait of a main character, especially in horror movies nowadays, as most of them are just annoying, so I actually liked having one that I could actually root for here. Also, he does have a little bit of a past and someone who would actually miss him. He brings up having an ex that he actually wanted to rekindle things with, as I do like that there's a little bit more depth to him than just something that we just see happening throughout the movie, and that his past is explored a little bit. It's something that doesn't really happen overly with found footage movies, unless if it's integral to the plot, but it really wasn't. I like how it was handled. And then there's Joseph. Oh boy, how do we talk about Joseph? He pretty much makes this movie. Mark Duplass does an amazing job as this character, and like I said, you cannot trust a word this guy says, and that just makes me like him all the more. He's a great villain, and I absolutely love seeing this guy on screen. There's just so much mystery surrounding him, and there's just so much intrigue with him, and again, Mark Duplass does an amazing job as him, and I just love it. Also, in the sequel, he's not called Joseph. He's called Aaron. I particularly love that because that means that even his name is a lie, and I love it. So we don't even know what he's really named, even though his sister does say that she wants to know where Joseph is. So yeah, his name's probably Joseph, but we have no way of knowing for sure. That might not even be his sister. That could just be someone that he knows. Who, I don't know, he could have hired her to do that. I don't know why, but he could have. Seriously, he could have done so many things here, and we just don't know. And I love that mystery surrounding him. It's really something that makes him much more engaging, and he can really stand on his own along with a lot of other slashers. Seriously, I want there to be more iconic slashers. I brought this up before, but I think that Joseph is a great contender for one of them. Honestly, I just think that he's a really interesting character, and Mark Duplass does an amazing job selling that. So for the characters, I'm gonna give them an 8, as yeah, there are some rather bad ones in there. I mean, yeah, okay, there are definitely some aspects that, yeah, there's not many characters, and also there are some rather dumb decisions on their part. And yeah, like I said, now that one honorary mention of a character, Joseph's sister, she's barely in this, and her only contribution is rather weird. However, the film does make up for that with our two main characters, and they are extremely interesting in their own rights. And I wouldn't actually mind seeing more of Aaron, and especially Joseph. That's one thing that makes me particularly happy that there's sequels for this film. So, yeah, I just really enjoy the characters in this. So, for this movie overall, it's great. It's a really, really good movie. It's a very strong contender with a lot of other slashers out there, and I'm really glad that we're seeing more of it. It's something that I think could really make for an interesting series, and has so far. It's very well handled, and I like the improvisational feel to it, making it add some realism, and also I like the black comedy to it, and some of the scares. There's actually motivation for some of them, which is really nice, and there's actually some interesting characters in this, and some very interesting unexplained aspects to them. And well, yeah, the story is extremely simple, and yeah, there aren't many characters, and yeah, some of them aren't all that good as some of the others. I will definitely say that it does stand amongst all the other found footage movies as a really strong entry into them, and one that I definitely recommend you guys check out if you haven't already. So for this movie overall, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really strong film that definitely deserves to be watched, and is a really good entry into the found footage series. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And next week, I don't know. Hang on. Kingsman, the Secret Service. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'm just gonna get back to my day job. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye. Time to do my review of Creep. Hi. So this is awkward. Very. So I already did the review. Yeah, I figured. But I haven't done the skip part for it yet. I mean, you could be a part of that. But you still need a victim. Yeah, good luck with that. Why is this stupid door locked from the outside? So, yeah, I'm just gonna wait out here in my living room for a little bit. So, yeah, and anyway, next week is Kingsman the Secret Service. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Whatever she said. So, yeah, bye.